Yo, what is going on, guys? This is Pufferfish667 back with another video, and in today's video I have a tutorial on how to drop, those high damage games, get that 3k badge, that 4k badge, or even if you're haven't got your 2 or 2.5k badge, how to squeeze in those badges, because it's a nice badge. They're all really good badges to have. They look nice, especially the 4k badge, and I think it's a lot easier than people imagine, especially in this season. I feel like dropping high damage games is just so easy. I've dropped over, I think, 10 5k and a couple 6k games this season, and then I just have so many 4ks. I just get them all the time. Not trying to say I'm so good at the game, but I feel like in this season, just with how the games play out, they are a lot easier. But without further ado, we'll get straight into it. So my first tip for you guys is use a sniper rifle or some sort of long range guns. Sniper battles in this game, and not even sniper battles, just catching people out in the open with how many choke points and just long range open areas there on this map, you can just get so many little bits of pick damage and just constantly pressure someone and just keep getting damage on them. That'll overall stack up to your damage, and especially sniper battles. If you get a sniper battle with a team, it's just constant back and forth damage. You shoot, you get them low, they heal, and then vice versa, and they just go on for ages till you get a knock. The best ones I'd say would definitely be the charge rifle. The charge rifle, it is so easy to use. You get that extra bit of damage when you have the laser beam on them, and then that huge burst still hits harder than any sniper in the game. Charge rifle is definitely the way to go if you're using snipers to get these high damage game. And I feel like G7 also. G7 is if you're playing a bit more aggressive, you're going for more those medium range fights. You don't really just like sitting back, which is something I do. I really don't like using the charge rifle, and I think half of my games where I've got 5 or 6k have been with the G7, getting aggressive, getting more in their face. But it's still the same concept, because they'll be a bit further away and you won't just be insta beaming, knocking them instantly, so you'll get a lot of that damage out. So my second tip for you guys is to don't full aggro fights. Like I said with the sniper tip previously, just kind of sit back and just keep shooting at them, letting them heal, and just only kill them when you really need to. If they're coming into you, they're getting close, just kill them then. But don't just go straight into a fight and aggro fights, because if you see a lot of people like my gameplay, I get a lot of 20 bombs and 4Ks when I'm not even using the sniper, and that's purely because I'm just running around and I'm just running into so many fights. 20 kills, that's a lot of fights you're getting into, and it just stacks up because I'm running into so many people. But if you're not the best and you really can't get 20 bombs and you're struggling to get those high 3k 4k games, it's definitely better just to sit back. Don't full aggro every fight. There's still times where you got to play a bit aggressive, which I'll explain in the next tip, but kind of just sit back and let everything come to you. You know what I mean? Stormhold people, just play it so you don't have to run into every fight and just stack up that damage. My third tip for you guys is to still play a tad bit aggressive. Now that kind of sounds like it's contradicting my last tip, but my last tip was more, don't play full aggro. Don't just be a cracker, try to get as many kills as possible. When you're doing this, you might get pretty long sniper battles where you just, constantly back and forth and you're racking up that damage, but you got to do that quite a bit, especially, with early zones coming in. Zones will come in, and then there'll be other third parties pressuring you, which will stop you from being able to just having that long sniper battle. You gotta go around. You still gotta shoot a lot of people if you want to get those really high damage games. You still gotta go pretty crazy. So still, just once you get one team, don't hesitate to move on to the next. Go find that next team, and use your rotation when you think people are going to be, especially if you've got a Stormhold. Stormholds are really good ones, especially with how many choke points there are on the map. It's really easy to just get that damage in, because there's nowhere for them to go. They're in that area, they're on that choke point, and if you're on a Stormhold, there's really not much they can do. So, play that aggressive kind of style, but still favor those longer, more drawn out sniper battles to, just rack up that damage. So my last tip for you guys is to thirst everyone, and I think most people know why this is important at this point in the game, but if you didn't know, anyone that is downed you can thirst them and get that extra 100 damage. You can't just constantly shoot their shield, their knockdown shield. That won't count as damage, but their flesh, their actual body is an extra easy 100 damage. So if you got a safe thirst in a fight, just quickly mow him down. That's an easy extra 100 damage. And if you think about it, let's say you get 13 kills, and you thirst around 7 of those. That is an extra 700 damage, which is actually huge. And if you're getting those even high games, if you're getting like 17, 18 kill game, and you're thirsting half of that, that's like an extra 1,000 damage almost. Like, thirsting people is huge. And I noticed when this came into the game, my 4Ks really jumped up, because even if you're just thirsting a couple people, that can be enough just to get over that threshold, to get that 3K badge, to get that 4K badge. And it's actually a really useful tip that, most people thirst anyway, knowing my experience in this game, but still, favor those thirsts. If you see an easy thirst, even if you're in a third party, you're running into a separate fight, so you see a guy down, get that easy damage. Who cares what he thinks? He's probably going to rage, send you an angry message, but hey, you're going to get the 4K badge, and who's the real winner then? So I hope you guys enjoyed my tutorial on how to get high damage games in Season 3, and more importantly, I hope you learned something. I think a lot of you guys, think this is a really complex thing to get high damage games, but these tips are really simple. They're really easy to do. They're not like the 20 bombs where, you gotta kill as many people as quick as possible to move on to the next, which can be hard if you're not the most mechanically gifted player. But with these, it's really not that hard to sit back with a charge rifle or G7 and just beam your enemies and just rack up that damage. I think it's a lot easier than a lot of people think, and if you really try, I feel like a lot of you can get a lot more damage than you ever thought you could have got. So yeah, that's it from me, and I'll catch you in the next one. Oh, here comes the crypto dude. I'm coming.
90 on him. I got this self-res with the finish.
Yeah.
I'll let you kill him.
Damn. 2 20 bombs with Jibby? Oh my god.
Alright. I only died twice that game, so I guess that's not the worst.
Damn, dude. What's going on? This is like bot hours.
You are the Apex champions.
I wish I could talk shit.
Level 22. Jibby's just broken.